Hey, this is V, and I've just finished reading Legends and Lattes by Baldree. The main character, Viv, is an orc, and she's also been an adventurer for many years. The thing about being an orc in this world is that people generally expect you to live like a really violent life and for your life to eventually end in some really bloody way. And Viv doesn't really want that to be her fate. Like, she's getting kind of tired of adventuring and hunting monsters. She's starting to feel her age a bit, like when she goes into battle. So she really wants to retire, and she doesn't want her life to be the kind of life that everyone expects an orc to have. Like, ever since she came across this coffee shop in a gnome city, like on their journeys, she's had a dream to open her own coffee shop, because to her, like, the smell of coffee and the taste of it, like, for some reason it made her feel like she was home. And so it's her goal now to start her own business. Like, she chooses a city where no one's even heard like what coffee is, and opens the city's first ever coffee shop. So this story follows Viv through the early steps of her building her business, like finding the location where she wants to house it, getting someone to help her with renovating, hiring her first worker, starting to build her menu, like, since you have to think about like what kinds of things you might offer, like how you would offer the coffee. And then there's the idea of like, how do you even introduce something that no one's ever heard of, like saying that it's beans in hot water doesn't exactly make it sound like an attractive beverage. So it's hard to sell something no one knows they want. And then how do you attract customers? And slowly, like, she starts to build up, I guess, the kind of place that she's been dreaming of. So something I liked about this story, like, I really enjoy the way like all these characters are brought together by what Viv is doing. Like, I always like it when stories have like all these really like slightly quirky and really different characters that find a home like in what she is creating, and they start to have like build these connections with one another, like even when they don't necessarily all like get along really well. Like, there's this person who's always there in her shop studying ley lines, and it makes her really nervous because she has this item that's supposed to be lucky that might be affecting the ley lines, and she's not really sure what he has his eye on exactly, and he never wants to order anything, and the customer who sits in your shop and never orders anything, especially when you start to get busy, can be a little bit irritating. And you have like other characters like this musician who really shocked people with his first performance because he was playing this really raucous instrument that no one had ever heard before, and it was slightly like he was super embarrassed and went running out. But like all these different people eventually come together to create like the kind of place that I guess I would actually quite enjoy visiting, like a place that really could be considered like a home kind of coffee shop. Something I did not like, I think the background line that involved the mythical item I guess she brought with her that's supposed to be lucky was kind of unnecessary. Like, I felt like it created a lot of extra stress. Like, well, for one thing, I guess I'm always skeptical of good luck items in general, but it's such this, like, it becomes this gnawing thing in the background where she's worried that because she didn't tell her adventuring buddies why she wanted this object, like when they got it, and you have this one frenemy person who becomes really invested, I guess, in what exactly she is up to in really bad ways. And you also have like the local, I'm not sure if it's a crime boss or whatever, but like the group that collects things like protection money from the local businesses. So I felt a bit like that entire line didn't really help the story, because it made it seem like anytime good things happen or she managed to do things well, that she had to doubt whether it was actually her or if it was something to do with the stone. I just felt a bit like it was an unnecessary element to have in the story, even though I guess I can kind of see how it plays out in the things that she learns along the way.